What's up, everybody? It's the Kid Izzy here. Just want to let you know you're about to enjoy another classic episode of Classic Conversations. This this episode features my buddy Nate. He lives in Minnesota, but we've known each other for 10 years, man, and our bond started over a group that we both run on Facebook. We love pro wrestling. Um, and you know what they say, it's often the people that you don't meet in person that make the biggest impact on your life, and Nate is one of those people. This episode's a lot of fun. We get into a lot of things, his upbringing, his love of professional wrestling, and movies, music, so much more. So enjoy this. I hope you subscribe, like, and comment, and just keep it locked right here for more classic conversations. Enjoy the interview. Peace. Welcome to another episode of Classic Conversations. I am your host, Izzy, and today I am sitting down with, he is a fellow member of We Love Pro Wrestling, a group that we both admin for on Facebook. Gamer, and Minnesotan. So
Yeah.
I think that's how you refer to it. So I'm sitting here with my brother Nate. What's going on?
What's going on? It's Minnesotan.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I stand corrected.
Right?
All right, man. So let's just get right into it. Take us back, man. What was growing up for you in Minnesota like?
Cold. It's cold out here. It's good, man. I live in a suburb of Minneapolis. It's the biggest suburb of Minneapolis. So Minneapolis, St. Paul's the capital of Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. And so I'm like 15 minutes south of Minneapolis. It's the biggest suburb around middle upper class. I did not grow up middle upper class, but like I grew up in a middle upper class neighborhood. It was good. I mean, I spent my formative years in Minneapolis in the time, like in the mid 90s, when it wasn't a good place to be. Like reminiscent of what it's like now. It's kind of, ever since the pandemic and everything, it's gone to shit. But what are you going to do? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just had your normal upraising. Just my mom, single mom, had a stepdad, couple, one biological sister, couple stepbrothers and sisters. The usual. Raised a bunch of hell. Life didn't get exciting till later in life for me. But
what was that? What was that like for you growing up with stepbrothers and stepsisters? So
well, it was eye-opening because so obviously I am white as can be, like fucking see-through, and my mom married a black man, so my brothers and sisters are all black. So I got to witness and see some of the things that most people don't see. And also it's like a whole nother culture, obviously. And so I got exposed to a lot of different, it opens your eyes. It teaches you to, tolerance, because, I was just raised with people. So nobody was anything special. They were just my brothers, my sisters, it's their homies, just all the same.
nice. When you let's talk a little bit about your hobbies, man. What do you like to do for fun?
Well, I don't do much, man. As a single dad, it's, my kid's a little older now, but I don't have a lot of free time. I work full time. When I can, I do a little bit of gaming. I'm not really good at video games, to be honest with you. I've been playing since the Nintendo when I was 6. So that's like 33 years of video games, and I'm fucking terrible, just terrible. But if I'm playing online, it's usually just Fortnite, because that's what my friends play. So like all the homies. So like, it's just, I usually end up just like dying and just hanging out and bullshitting. And it's my way of hanging out with my friends, because I don't get to go out. And then otherwise, like right now, I just picked up Assassin's Creed Valhalla back up. I had like bought it a while ago and then just never got into it. And now, so I just started playing that again. Otherwise, I collect Funko Pops. And wrestling memorabilia. I got a
So,
nice selection of both.
so you're an avid Funko Pop collector. What would you say your the best Funko Pop that you own is?
My pride and joy. Man, it's tough. Like I've put a lot of time and effort into it. Like I was just telling you before we started recording, I got a buddy was at San Diego Comic-Con, and like in person they announced like a Freddie Funko as Macho Man Randy Savage. And as a wrestling guy, I was like, oh, I wish I could get that. And then he had two, so he sold it off. And I mean, and that's my current, like, it's my holy, like the holy grail. I just grabbed a Doctor Who one, his 10th Doctor in the 9th Doctor's clothes, like when he regenerated from 9 into 10 and it glows in the dark. That's a cool one that I added to my collection that I really dig. Otherwise, I got all the diamond Pokemon, so they're all glittery and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, I have never seen Doctor Who, so
Really,
yeah, no, I'm not. I've never watched an episode of any season, so
it's I highly recommend it.
yeah,
Yeah, I just got into it like during the pandemic, so I'm only a couple of years into the fandom. But I mean, you like nerd shit, right?
yeah,
You like Star Wars, Star Trek, all that fucking.
definitely, man, yeah.
You'll fucking love it. It's just like it's like fucking England's version of Star Trek, like basically. But yeah, watch the stuff you got. If it's on HBO Max, you could watch like the whole new era.
Okay,
It's real fucking cheesy at first because the budget, but as it gets on, it gets so much better. It's so good.
nice, nice. Okay, I'll definitely look into that. But let's talk a little bit about professional wrestling, man.
My
So
passion.
obviously you're wearing, cut it. Yeah,
Yep. Rainmaker.
Um, so when did you start getting into professional wrestling, and what was the moment that you said, "Man, I'm hooked on this"?
I was like 8 years old, and I met another kid in the neighborhood, and he was already a fan. And we used to go back then. It wasn't like this is like 91, so it wasn't like there wasn't Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
There wasn't like what I mean. You couldn't like you had paper WrestleMania would happen, and you'd have to go rent the video like 4 months later. So you're like always so far behind. But like that was how I watched wrestling growing up, and then. And then you get a little older, and I fell out of it. And then got in high school is when NWO and DX and all that shit was popping off, like the height of the Attitude Era. And so I fell back in love with it then. So I mean, dude, like people who didn't live through the Attitude Era don't understand how formative it was on pop culture and society in America. Like really, like. Dude, I found we used to play this game in gym class called Trojan Ball, and it's basically like dodgeball, right? You know what I mean? But it's everybody against everybody, like 3 balls, and you just, fucking last man standing wins.
Yeah.
Well, and then that's when the whole people started crying about, oh, everybody, this guy always wins. So they came up with this continuous Trojan Ball where like, so if I got you out and then somebody else got me out, you get to come back in the game.
Okay. Yeah.
So me and these 2 buddies of mine, we were like the outcast guys. We weren't like really, popular or anything. And we got tired of the jocks, like fucking, not getting each other out, their friends and stuff, and like, just dominating. So we fucking teamed up, and we were so dominant that the teacher told us that we had to stop. And then, but like on the last day, we all had underneath our gym shirts with our names on it. We were playing the game, and we got down and we eliminated everybody. It was just the 3 of us. So we all took off our gym shirts and we had NWO shirts on.
Nice.
Fucking like, and everybody knew what we were doing. It was just fucking like that kind of shit doesn't happen nowadays. Like, and I don't think it ever will. Like, it was just a perfect microcosm of, it's like a lot of the music from back then, like why Nirvana got big. Just it was like a whole, just an attitude, if you will, a vibe of the mid to late 90s that you just the world will never capture again. I mean, wrestling's great now. Like you can't. Even WWE's getting better again. Thank God, finally.
Yeah, it was a little tough to watch there for a while. I think we can all admit that.
I stopped supporting the company wholeheartedly because I didn't care for Vince McMahon's morals and ethics, but it had nothing to do with the shit that came out. And then all the shit came out. I was like, oh, well, now it's even more justified. But now he's gone, so I can start supporting the company again and watching it. And
so what was the match that got you hooked? That or moment that got you hooked?
Man, I don't even remember. Like, I know, like, a lot of my childhood's a blur, man. I'm fucking old. I've been through a lot of fucking, I was in that coma and shit, so that fucks with your memory.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a lot of the younger stuff. You know what I mean? It was a Hogan, Hart, you know what I mean? Like the classic baby face, scared of the Undertaker, like I was supposed to be. I was 8, you know what I mean? And then, but The Rock, man, that's like, he made me, like, made me want to be a wrestler. Like, that was, my body didn't permit, I know you can understand that. But like, I couldn't do it. But he made me want to be he's so amazing at the time, like, not so much later, but like that, like 97 to like 2000 range. It's fucking gold.
Yeah, The Rock was awesome. So you said that you were in a coma for a couple of years. Do you mind talking us through that?
Yeah, not at all. So I got asthma. I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to party, you know what I mean? Like hard drinking and all that stuff. And what happened was I got pneumonia and a bacterial infection in my lungs. Obviously that's where pneumonia is, but I had a bacterial infection in there too. And but I kept going to the hospital because I couldn't breathe. Like, literally none of my medicine was working, nothing was working, and I was like, couldn't breathe. So I'd keep it 3 different months for 1 week stays. I'd go in there every time. They're like, well, it's because you smoked cigarettes. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I've only been smoking for like 10 years. Right now I'm only smoking like 5 a week. You know what I mean? Like, there's something wrong with my asthma and my lungs. Like, something's not right. And after like the last trip, it was so bad they had to put me into a coma. And for 2 weeks I was out, gone. And everybody, and I'm sure you're going to ask, what was it? Do you remember anything from the coma? So I'm going to break it down for you. I don't remember anything, but I lived through movies, right? Like, Saw, like the torture traps.
Yeah.
I lived through that movie and like escaped one of the traps. I grew up, and the chick I was dating at the time, she had a son, I have a daughter, and in this fantasy movie I was in, we got married, got pregnant, and had twins, but like fraternal twins. So she got a daughter and I got a son. And as I was leaving the hospital, somebody came up and shot me and like killed my baby and then like paralyzed me like completely. And I lived the rest of my life like completely paralyzed. I lived like the whole lifespan, you know what I mean? Like, and then like her resenting me and all through, just miserable. Except for one, I had Christmas with Tom Hanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been a harrowing experience.
Yeah, I woke up, and because in my movie dream, like whatever, somebody shot me. Like, when I saw my sister, one of the first things I asked her was, I was like, did we get the motherfucker that did this to me? And she was like, Nate, it was you. I'm like, fuck.
Right.
Because I was like sick and didn't take care of myself well. And yeah, so it sucked, but I worked my ass off. Woke up and home within a month from the coma. Yeah, I had to relearn how to walk. I went completely muscle atrophy, like all my muscles. Like, I couldn't walk. I couldn't put any weight. I was fucking useless. And I worked back within 3 weeks. They were amazed. Like, they were like, this doesn't happen. And it's okay. It's like, I got to get home to the kid. Somebody's got to raise the kid. It's just me. So I got to get there.
That is crazy, man. We're glad that you came out of that. I remember when we heard about it in the group, man. It was terrible, man. I was pulling for you.
That was one of the best things, was coming out of the coma and seeing all of the people that were like, you know what I mean, and all the well wishes like from
Yeah,
you and
absolutely.
Rob and John and Vox and like everybody, you know what I mean, just like everybody. All
Absolutely.
it was great. It was very nice. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, man, let's talk a little bit about the group. How did you become involved in We Love Pro Wrestling?
So fuck 10 years ago, 11, something like that. I was on Twitter and I didn't have cable. So the only way I could follow wrestling was live tweeting with people who were watching it. And that's how I met Vox. And then we became friends that way. And then we became friends on Facebook. And then he introduced me into the group when there was like 150 members.
Yeah, I remember those days.
There was like nobody in the group. It was like me, him, Dennis, and a bunch of other crazy people. I don't remember who all was there in the beginning, but there was a lot of drama. There was a lot of fucking bullshit. And then we grew it until what are we at now? Like 85,000?
Yeah, 85, 86.
And that's the second time because it got killed once, remember?
Right, oh yeah. Oh,
we were at like 60
that?
something. Yeah.
Remember that we got killed at like 60 and then we had a oh man.
Yeah, we built it back up again. And then and I've met some of the coolest people I've ever, I haven't physically met any of you guys, but like I've known all of you for like 10 years. We've all been friends for 10 years. Like I remember like I've known John since before his wife and 2 of his 3 kids.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny, I didn't meet John until like maybe I want to say what year was that? Like 2018. And like it's funny, this is before he moved to San Antonio, before his wife got stationed out there. So he's from New York. So and we've never met each other. And
right.
Like and I met Vox before I met him, because Vox I met it at a independent wrestling show. We met for the first time. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, it's like a family over there.
I love it. I've gotten really lucky with all the random Facebook groups that I'm in. Like I'm in like 3 and they're all like family. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit that goes on in that group, but us group of people who have been running it for like 10 years it's like a passion project at this point. And people get so mad at us and they don't understand that, we're doing this for fun, right? Like this is our free time. Yeah. And you're yelling and cussing at us like, yo.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say fucking like what's like the one thing that pisses you off when we have to add adminning for the group, because I have quite a few of them.
I mean, there's just all the obvious bullshit. The people who are like, who? Like, I'll be honest, dude, I don't have time to keep up with all of wrestling. Like, I only have time for AEW. Right? Like, because I work full time. I got a kid. Like, that's all I have time for. But I follow as much as I can on the internet and clips and videos. And anytime I don't know who somebody is, I just Google it.
Yeah, that's why I fucking wrote that rule, because
exactly.
Come on.
I can't tell you. And then just like, I don't know. People just don't understand. They don't, especially like when it comes to like the blind faith and hate towards other companies. Like
it's like
Tony Khan and AEW is doing an amazing job. Right. I have friends who don't watch wrestling but will watch AEW because it reminds them of when wrestling was great. Like back, not that it hasn't been great, but you know what I mean? It reminds them of it. It's nostalgic. It gives them the same vibes.
Nostalgic feeling, yeah.
Yeah, like they're getting the same vibes, but obviously the wrestlers today are way more athletic and can do. I know people flippy do shit, but it's like, it's all the same fucking thing. It's great. And there's something for everybody, and pro wrestling is amazing. I mean, I don't know. It's me and a couple friends out here. It's pro wrestling is my religion. Like it's always there for me, always.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So let's what do you call it? So let's talk a little bit about fatherhood, man. What like what's the best part for you? The best part about being a dad for you?
Um, I mean, I don't even know how to put that into words, bro. That's such a good question, but I don't know. It's the little shit. I don't know. She's me, but like I have a different perspective because I raised her alone.
Hmm.
Like I've been since she's like 6 months old. Her mom wasn't around. Shit, fuck, there's a chair there. Uh, her mom wasn't really around. Her mom was, I don't need to get. We could talk for an hour and a half about just her mom, but I'm not. I'm not trying to put all that shit out on the fucking internet for my kid to hear later. So, because I don't bad.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to put that.
I never have badmouthed my kid's mom to her. Like that was not my job. Was to put down her mom. Like that's my job was to raise my kid. So that's what I did to the best of my abilities. Could be I probably could have done better, but fuck, who knows what the hell they're doing, right? I was a 25-year-old guy who just all of a sudden was like raising a fucking baby by himself. So it was like me and the homies. So my kid's like, she's like me. She is exactly like me, and she's exactly like her mom, and it is a serious problem. But what are you gonna do? You just do the best you can. We're going through a rough patch, but she just started high school, so that's
Oh man,
fucking
that's tough.
it's fucking crazy. Middle school was rough for her, so she's going, but she's doing good. We're doing good. Everybody's doing good. School, she should be home now. I think she's upstairs mowing the lawn for grandma. Uh, but yeah, I mean, we're hoping for a better year, you know. But she's a lot of fun. She doesn't watch wrestling with me anymore, but she goes to see all the Marvel movies with me. So that's about all I
That's
got left
awesome.
with her, because she's a teenager, so she don't want to hang out with dad.
Yeah, that's awesome. I definitely get that. Your pictures on Facebook are absolutely priceless
Yeah,
when you have your kid, which love it,
right.
man.
Because she does not like taking pictures with dad. So,
It's awesome. Gotta embarrass the kid.
mhm.
What's the best thing about what's your favorite thing to do in Minnesota? Like I've never been, so I
uh, I mean, I'm not your average Minnesotan. Like most people would say, like fishing or ice fishing, snowmobiling, ski. I don't know how to ice skate. I don't fucking know how to ski. I don't like fishing. I don't like being in the outdoors. I mean, but the thing about Minnesota is that there's literally we do have we have all the seasons. So there's like something for everybody all of the time. You know what I mean? In the summer, it's nice out. So there's you're outside. We got 10,000. We do have like fucking 10,000 lakes. So like during the summer, people are always out on the lake or up at the cabin. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are outdoors. I don't know. I don't do shit. If you if you come visit, there's the Mall of America. You know what I mean? Like that's if you've never
I've
seen it.
always wanted to do.
If you've never seen it, it's cool. But like I don't know. I live fucking 4 miles from the thing. Eh. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like you've seen the Statue of Liberty 100 times. You live in New York City. It's like, it's just another fucking day in the week.
yeah.
That's where I go to catch the
I
train to go
totally get it.
downtown.
I totally get it.
Yeah. But I mean, it is cool though, dude. Like it's a fucking mall with a full-on theme park in the middle of it. Like multiple roller coasters, a fucking log ride, water splash. Like it's like fucking full-on theme park, Ferris wheel, all that. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's kind of like we just in Jersey, which is one state over from here,
Mhm.
they just opened up the I think it's called the American Dream Mall or something like that, and it's something sort of similar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it's sort of similar with the like it has like a Ferris wheel and a theme park in the middle of it and everything like that.
It's so fucking nuts. Yeah, it's crazy. I remember when it opened, it was like a big deal, and now it's just like I don't know. It
Did
is what it is. It's the
was it
mall.
the Nitro there?
No, because that was like right before I got back into wrestling.
Ah,
But the local see now that's the okay. So we don't have a huge local indie scene here in Minnesota. Like we have one big company, or big company, right? And it's called First Wrestling, and they come out and they hold their big show is called WrestlePalooza, and they throw it at First Avenue, which is an iconic venue. Like Prince, like everybody has played First Avenue. Eminem, you know what I mean? Like fucking everybody has
Mm-hmm.
played at First Avenue. And that is some of the most fun I've ever had at a wrestling show in my life. Like it's like standing room only. There's no chairs. There's literally just enough room between the ring and the guardrail for the cameraman to scoot around. You know what I
Nice.
mean? Oh, I watched one of them. I was like fucking, and I always get there early, so I'm right on the rails. So like I was rail control for a match between Swerve and AR Fox.
Oh my God, that must have been wild.
Dude, yeah, they're fucking there, you know, we had to crowd control and move the fucking grate. And I've been at some cool ones. There was a Colt Cabana and Adam Pearce 7 Stages of Hell or whatever when they were doing that series of matches
Oh
was held
wow.
here. And I handed Colt the chair that he used. Like I'm on pay-per-view, like on the DVD, like you see me, like I hand him the chair, he hits dude with the
Nice,
chair and hands
nice,
it back to me. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Yeah, I'm on a few different like big shows, like because I'm front row and I'm off, you know.
yeah.
But I totally lost where I was
That
going.
that is awesome. So so let's what's the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Man, it's another good question. I mean, you know, it's cliche as can be, but you know, just like you know, don't sweat the small stuff, bro. Like silver linings, you know, like there's always, no matter how bad something is, there's always, it can always be worse. So it's like just look for their positivity. I don't know, that's like 4 different things. I just realized I was
No, no,
rambling.
no, it's
But
cool.
it's like it all like I've never had somebody say like one thing that was like, oh my God, mind blowing. But like I quit drinking and I decided to make a conscious change to be positive. And so I like look for the silver lining in everything. And you know, that's the best thing you can do, man. Cause like sometimes life fucking sucks, dude. But
Yeah, definitely.
I was in a fucking coma, bro. I almost died, but
Yep.
I'm not. I didn't, and I'm fine. So keep it moving. You know, silver linings. Could be worse.
Yeah,
When
no.
I'm at work and people ask me how you doing, I say I'm alive and I'm not in jail. Fantastic.
So what do you do? What is your
I work at a gas station. I do nothing fancy. I was a fuck up for most of my life, so I'm just on trying to get my way back up. You know, I make a decent living.
yeah,
Could be better, but I'm happy.
a living is a living, man.
Dude,
Whatever
10
it,
years ago, me and the kid were in a homeless shelter. So like, you know what I mean? Like
hey,
now I've got a car, we got a place to live. I can afford to give my kid whatever she wants. You know, it's not glamorous, but it gets the job done.
nice, nice. So what are you a sports fan other than professional wrestling? Do you watch any other sports?
I don't know if you could see that,
The Minnesota
but
Twins.
I'm a huge Twins fan. Basically, I'm all Minnesota sports unless it comes to football. Then I'm a Patriots fan, and I know, but that happened because when Brady first started playing, like when Drew Bledsoe went down and Brady played, like that
Right,
first
right, right.
game, the people I was hanging out with at that time were from Michigan, and they're like, "Yo, check out this
Right,
fucking
yeah,
dude."
because he went, yeah.
And so like, and then they started winning, and so like I was not really a Vikings fan because that's crushing to be a Vikings fan.
Yeah,
But yeah, otherwise I'm a huge Wolves fan. I love the Wolves. Looks like we might be finally doing something. We got fucking Gobert, we got Cat, we got fucking Anthony fucking Edwards, we got fucking right Anthony Edwards.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, and we got fucking D'Lo still. I mean,
yeah,
we're
man.
young, and you know, we're young still, we're hungry. I know, but I've said that so many fucking times.
It's cool, man. So what kind of music are you into? What are you listening to right now?
I listen to hip hop mainly, but I fucking whatever is fucking clever, bro. You know what I mean? Like as long as it fucking jams, it doesn't really matter what it is. But mainly, I listen to hip hop.
What's what's your favorite song or album or Any.
That's fucking like, I mean, it depends on the day of the week. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on the vibe when you get in the car. It's but if I'm walking, you know, if you're exercising or whatever, you listen to different shit. I don't know. I'm still old, you know, I still listen to old shit. All my stuff's
Yeah,
from
yeah,
late.
yeah. No, same for me, man. I
Like,
can't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love fucking Drake. I can't even lie. Like, I fucking love Drake. I have forever. You know, I love J. Cole. I'm not a fan of Kendrick.
Really?
I don't, yeah, I know, right? I don't know. It's something about his voice. I don't, he's got talent. I like some songs. I just can't get down with him fully. I've tried, and I know it's like unpopular opinion, but
Oh, not
I
at
don't
all,
know.
man. Your
J.
opinion,
Cole's
your
better.
opinion.
But J. Cole's better. But that's just me. I've always been a West Coast or a East Coast guy too, though. You know, being in the Midwest, we didn't really have anybody. Like when hip hop was like blowing up in the mid
Yeah,
90s, like when you know Biggie and Pac and all that shit, like we didn't have it. Twisted in them and Do or Die didn't come out till fucking the end, you know, like they were after Bone and fucking I don't know. So we
yeah,
didn't really have anybody. So I always just vibed with the fucking New York guys more than anybody else, personally.
man. So okay, cool. So we got more stuff coming up coming up, man. I got more stuff to talk to Nate about, and man, we got more stuff coming up. All right, let's talk some movies, man. Have you seen any good movies lately?
I think the last movie I saw was Thor, Love and Thunder.
What'd you think of it?
Oh, I loved it. I love Marvel. I mean, they can't really do any wrong. I mean, even their worst movie is still a good movie,
Right, right, right.
even though it's the same formula every fucking time. But fucking cares.
So, what are your thoughts on the Warner Brothers and Discovery merger that's affecting all these DC projects that are supposed to be coming out?
You know, I feel so bad because I just want some good DC movies too. You
Right.
know, I'm a comic guy, so like I like everything. I'm not like I mean, I prefer Marvel. I mean, most people do, but like, dude, come on, Superman, it's fucking amazing. Green Lantern, oh,
Yeah.
Green Lantern is the shit. He's like one of my fucking favorite superheroes. You know, there's just, I mean, Batman's cool and everything, but it's just fucking, he's overrated, dude. He's Iron Man without a suit, dude. He's fucking, Uh, but you know, so I just want, I'm hoping Black Adam's good and we can just fucking use that as a
Right.
launching point to like, because who knows what they're doing with the Flash? Like,
Uh, at this point, that's the only movie that's greenlit under the merger.
they're still gonna release it, huh?
Uh,
Because
as of right now, yeah.
I mean, good because, but I don't like, I didn't really care for Ezra Miller as the Flash, anyways.
Right.
But I mean, I'm always down to give someone a chance. You know what I mean? I learned, you know, that you can't just count out an actor until you give him the shot. Because like Robert Pattinson was, you know, I was like, but I loved the Batman, right? Like he was great. He was fucking perfect. Young fucking year two Bruce Wayne, fucking broody, fucking miserable. Like, is it
Right.
worth it? Oh, it was fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
But
that really shocked me, man. I didn't think he was gonna do as well as he did.
no, not at all. Not at all. But I gave him a shot because I knew he could. I knew he's a good actor. He was a good actor that took a shitty role. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because those Twilight movies were bad. I couldn't even get past.
I've never seen it, so I'll take your
Duh.
word.
I was with this broad and she wanted to watch them, and I'm one of them people. I'm one of the people who's got to read the books before I watch a movie. So I read all four of those fucking books, and I couldn't even get through the first movie. Like the books weren't any good either. Don't get me wrong. The books weren't any good, but the movies were way worse.
Oh
So
my goodness.
I
Nah, man,
mean,
I haven't like I said, I haven't seen it, so I'll
don't
just
waste.
word for it. So let's talk a little bit about your podcast that you got going on. What do you have a name for it?
Uh, so yes and no. Like okay, so my nickname is Pigeon,
Right.
and originally I was gonna go with Pigeonhole Podcast because like I don't want to get pigeonholed into one like
Uh-huh.
genre of podcast. You know, it's kind of something like this. We just fucking bullshit about anything and everything, not no
Right.
real one topic. But I realized that am really bad at doing segues, right? Like from one topic to the next. So I figured I was going to change the name to Terrible Segues. And, and then that way, when I fuck up a topic change, it's like, it was part of the show. But I don't know. I recorded an episode with John from Dirt Sheet Radio, and I've got to fucking edit it because it was really good. We fucking bullshitted for like an hour about everything and stuff that he doesn't normally talk about on his stuff. So like, but I got to get it done. I've just been, I had back surgery and my fucking dealing with, raising a fucking teenage daughter by myself, so I got it. I got to get it out, but I got to record. I just talked one of my other buddies into, I need a straight man. I need somebody to play off of, right? Because I'm really funny, but I need somebody to give me something to go. So I got a buddy that really always knows how to rile me up. So I got him, talked him into fucking being my co-host. And
Awesome.
so I think we're going to record in the next week or so. We're going to start recording. So it's coming. I'll keep you updated on a name. I do have an Instagram for it. It's Pigeonhole Pod. I don't know. Again, I'll have to get it to you and you can put it in
Yeah,
the
yeah. I'll
comments.
link
We'll
it.
edit it. We'll
Yeah,
fix it
I'll
in
link it in
post.
the description. It should be somewhere. And
Yeah.
uh,
But again, that could change, but that's where I'm going to go. I think it's just going to be an audio podcast for now, until I can get like a better space to like in some cameras, and because I want to do it right. I got a good mic, and I
yeah,
got a laptop, and I'm so like, and I just need new headphones. These are my kids' gaming headphones, and they're all like janky. I gotta like adjust this so I can hear both.
nice, nice.
But yeah, so like I'm ready, and I have a passion, and I want to do this. I because I want to be a stand-up comedian, but I just don't have it in me. Like it's a lot of work. If you want to do it, you got to do it right. I'm one of those people, and it's just I know that I just don't have the time to do it the way I would want to. So I figured if I could podcast, I could get my comedy out in a similar way without having to do stand-up.
No, that's cool, man. I'm looking forward to being a guest on a future episode.
Yes. It'll happen. It might be a little bit, but I promise it's coming. You
Don't
guys
worry
just
about
bear
it.
with
Yeah,
me.
no, it's gonna be fun. I love when people do my stuff, and I love doing other people's podcasts. So it's cool. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you heard that here first. Words. What do you call it? No, man. So what podcast do you listen to that kind of inspired you to kind of start your own?
um it was so I didn't listen to podcasts until John started Dirt Sheet Radio. And so I started listening to that to just support the homie.
Yeah.
And they were so good that I was like, oh, well, and my other buddy had been telling me, listen to this shit. I was like, yeah. So then I started listening to my favorite comedians are The Machine, Bert Kreischer, and Tom Segura. And they have a podcast together called Two Bears, One Cave. And I started listening to that. And then Segura has one with his mom, with his wife called Your Mom's House. And that's probably my favorite podcast is Your Mom's House. It's great. But they've been doing it a long time, but they're really funny guys. They're all really funny comedians. His wife is too. So that's what I listened to. And so, but that's what's gotten me back with the itch of wanting to do comedy. And it was like, I got to do this podcast thing because like I know everybody's got a podcast nowadays, and the odds of me getting big are fucking just as slim as they are of anything else. But like, I have this need for a creative outlet, and I got to do it. I got to do it. So I'm a procrastinator though, so it takes me a while.
It's all good, man. So what let's see. Are you I'm wearing a Family Guy t-shirt. So are you a Family Guy fan?
So here's my thing. I can't get into animated shows. So I mean, like I used to be Family Guy, you know what I mean? Like when it first came out originally, because I'm old, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And but I don't watch Family Guy, I don't watch The Simpsons, I don't watch Rick and Morty, I don't watch Futurama, I don't watch any of that stuff. What's the one with the fucking horny beast Nick Kroll shit, on
Oh,
Netflix?
BoJack. What is that? BoJack
Well,
Horseman?
there's that. I don't watch that one either. I don't watch Archer. Like, it's really hard for me to get into animated stuff. The only animated stuff that I really got into was my buddies insisted I had to watch Clone Wars. So I watched Clone Wars, and that was fucking amazing. And then I watched Rebels,
Yeah,
and then My Hero Academia is
and yeah.
that's my shit. And then I loved that so much I was all caught up on it, and then I got a spoiler from the fucking manga, and so then I read every fucking issue of the manga so I could get caught up so spoilers wouldn't happen no more. And so now I get to read every issue as it drops. But yeah, that shit, I didn't know that you could get that emotional from a comic book, right?
No,
I have the comic book where Magneto rips the adamantium off Wolverine's bones, and I didn't feel anything. I'm reading My Hero, and I've already seen it all, so I already know what happens, except for the newer stuff, and I'm just fucking sobbing, just sobbing.
and it's cool.
It's great. I love entertainment. Like, it doesn't matter, movies, music, television, comic books, as long as it, like, especially if you get a good, like, emotional good book. Oh, I don't know if there's anything better than a good book.
I love a good book, yeah. So what was the last good book you read? Perfect segue. See?
Yeah. Damn it. Now you're ruining my whole gimmick with fucking terrible segues. Ready Player 2, I think, was the last book I actually read and finished. That was really good. The first one was great too, Ready Player 1, but Ready Player 2 was great. I've read so many freaking books. But my favorite, it's like this 12-book series. I think maybe he's put a couple more out since, but it was called the Sword of Truth series. And it was like sci-fi or like fantasy, but not your like normal. The first book is called Wizard's First Rule, and it's by Terry Goodkind, who I believe has passed away now. But it was, God, those books were good. Those were books that got me like where I like nothing else matters. I'm reading this book. Leave me the fuck alone. I'll see you all tomorrow when I'm done.
Right,
with the book.
right.
And but other than that, yeah, I'm trying to read The Magicians because I liked the TV show, so I figured I would read the books. I read Game of Thrones, but I was halfway through the last book that's out when I went into the coma, and then when I came out, I just lost interest and couldn't finish the book. Yeah, which happens.
It's no. So what is it? Okay, I know a lot of famous wrestlers have come from Minnesota, but do you have any favorite actors or any favorite wrestlers that have come out of your home state?
Well, I mean, the Hennig, Kurt Hennig came from here. Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude came from here. Flair technically is from here. I think, yeah, if I remember correctly, Ric Flair. He was like from North Carolina, but like he was
I
like
think
raised
I think
here.
he was born. I think he was born in Nashville, but then raised in Minnesota, and
and then spent his time.
And moved to Charlotte.
Otherwise, I mean, like some of the new kids, like Top Flight in AEW, like Darius and Dante.
And Dante went, yeah.
Yeah, like it sucks that Darius keeps getting injured because I picked him like he was like 17. When he wrestled as Airwolf, and I saw him live at like those first wrestling shows I was talking about.
Right.
I was like, dude, this kid is like, he's got it. And then fast forward a couple of years, and he was signed to AEW, but then he fucking, he got hurt. But his little brother's amazing, but like he's not like Darius is the better of the two. So just like look at how great Dante is. You know what I mean? And like
yeah.
They're both great. Don't get me wrong, but like yeah.
That's
I have a personal personal attachment to Super Thunder Frog. He's a buddy of mine. He always parties hard. Julia Hart is claiming to be from my hometown. That's like the first wrestler who's like claims Bloomington, Minnesota, that I know of. So I mean, I guess that's cool. But I'm like, I mean, we're a big town, but like I would have seen you wrestle. I don't remember her at all. So I was like shook that she just was like all of a sudden like from here and on TV. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
How did she slip through the cracks and like nobody? How did I not see her? Just because like I said, our independent scene isn't that big here.
So you would know.
Yeah, like I would have seen her, like you, or at least you would think. So
yeah,
but it's crazy.
That's cool, man. What do you call it? Last couple of things before we wrap this thing up, man. So I always let my guests ask me something that they always wanted to know about me, or maybe like a question or an observation. So do you have anything?
I know all your wrestling tastes, so those questions seem so obvious. You know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite wrestler? Like, we've been friends.
Yeah,
like,
I've said it ad nauseum. So you
right.
should.
So okay, so here let's go two-parter. Okay.
Yeah.
Music, right? Like, what's your favorite? Like, if you got one go-to jam, right? Like you're like, all right, I gotta play this. This is the song I get to play. Like, what is it gonna be?
Oof. That's a tough one, man. Because it depends on the genre of music. Because I kind of listen to like
Everything. Yeah.
like, country. So like it depends on the genre of music. So what are we talking?
Take your pick. I mean, it doesn't even have to be that serious. You can name, like, if you want to break it down, like hit me with like three, like a hip hop, a rock, and a country song or whatever. You know what I mean? You could pick one of three. Like, I could give you a multiple choice here. We're okay with that. This is a very loose format.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. So for hip hop, I would probably have to go. Oh man, Notorious Thugs by Biggie and Bone Thugs and Harmony. Man, that's kind of
the
like
song. The song doesn't even start until 1 minute and 21 seconds in, though.
Yeah, like I can, like, it's just
I have that song so perfectly timed to when Biggie starts that I could not even pay attention and know just by I could walk in the room and know where it is in that 1 minute 21 seconds on how much longer till Biggie comes on. It's crazy. I love that song.
So for me, it's kind of combining like two of my favorite artists in hip hop, because Biggie, obviously, if you're from New York, you grew up listening to Biggie, and then Bone Thugs and Harmony. I first started. I didn't hear their first album, Thuggish Ruggish Bone, which came before East 1999 Eternal. I didn't hear. I heard East 1999 Eternal first. So, and then I went back and listened to their first album, and like they just captivated me. That whole style of like fast tongue twisting rapping, like it's amazing.
Yeah. And that East Eternal 1999 album was like front to back. You don't even have to skip a track.
Yeah, no, yeah. And I still have the CD somewhere, believe it or not. I got it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had this shit on cassette, my man. On cassette.
I think
dubbed from my buddies to mine.
Yeah. I think I believe that is and a matter of fact, I can say with about 98% confidence that was probably the first CD that I bought on my own.
Nice. So, mine was Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff. I'm the rapper, he's the DJ. That was my first CD. I was young, but that one, it was that one and Naughty by Nature's 1993. I got them both at like the same time. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Okay, so that's hip hop. For rock, Jesus Christ, probably Wherever I May Roam by Metallica.
Have you heard the original though?
The B-side, right?
Oh no, I'm thinking Turn the Page. My bad. No, you're right. Yeah, Wherever I'm at.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
yeah. Oh man.
There's so many great Metallica songs that
Yeah.
sometimes I get
No,
them
it's
confused.
so difficult to pick.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that last. Oh man. That last album, Hardwire.
Yeah.
Whew, and let's see. R&B. I probably would have to. Man, probably. I don't know. It's gonna fuck up the whole like vibe that I got going here because you got Biggie and then you got
Well, right.
Metallica. But for R&B, I would probably say maybe Drew Hill.
Oh, nice. Mine is 112.
Yeah, no, 112 is still great. Yeah, there's plenty of great songs that they have, but I'm a big Drew Hill guy.
Good
Uh,
old Cisco. People,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I
yeah.
think he lives in Minnesota now, like
Oh, that's
retired.
oh shit.
Yeah, I think he lives
Wow.
like up north. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then second part to the question, favorite movie.
Oh man, again with the genres because it's like, uh, so I will give you my favorite horror flick, which
Okay.
is which I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but like I've said on other podcasts, I don't care. What do you call it? Freddy's New Nightmare.
Oh, nice. I do not like scary movies at all. I'm a big fucking bitch when it comes to watching scary movies. I went and saw the new like the first one in the theaters, and I watched the whole movie like this as a grown man. Had my hands over my eyes.
Come
Like,
on, it wasn't even that bad.
I was so scared. So scared. I don't do horror movies. Don't do them. That's not my thing. My kid loves them. She loves them. Not me. Stranger Things is like pushing it, bro. Like,
Oh shit. Okay. Oh man. So yeah, no. And anything. Okay. So you say that would segue into my last question, which is anything that you want to plug, anything that you got going on.
no, you already called me out on my slacking podcast that I'm not doing that I got to do. Other than that, I don't. I mean, I could do the shameless plug for the Homies podcast or Cheat Radio, y'all gang,
Put it over, man. We love their She Radio.
all day, every day. Other than that, no, I don't have nothing to plug. I don't know anybody personally with stuff, podcasts or anything to shout out. Just, uh love one another, like be good to the world. The world needs more good, that's my plug. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, no. And man, that what a positive way to end this one, man. It's been a hell of a fun conversation with you,
Been a
man.
lot of fun. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, definitely, man. So that is gonna do it for this episode of Classic Conversations. I am Izzy, he is Nate, and we are at a time, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.